Hi guys, I think it's time for another rant. I had something said to me last night that knocked me right out of my ass. You guys are going to see a part of me and hear me say things that I strive not to say. You know, if I say something that offends you, well, it's not meant personally. I'm extremely secure in my manhood, and every day I wake up to the fact that I'm human. Men have feelings and emotions. Some are better at hiding them than others. It's taken me a long time to hide mine. Cat's having a field day. His camera comes on, she starts running back and forth. Anyway, there was some stuff going on last night and it just kept going on and on and on. At one point I left it. I came back. It's still going on. There's a story. And you know me, I got to tell a story every time I open my mouth. I guess I was about 24, 25, something like that. There was a group of us that would go to the same bar, a cowboy bar, every Friday and Saturday night. We were really tight. Tight, meaning in my generation, was that we were all great friends. So don't construe that as anything else. But every Friday and Saturday night, one of the girls and her husband would come in. We all had a good time. We'd argue with each other a little bit. And, you know, it was all out of fun. Just, you know, jazzing each other back and forth. Dance. I was a good dancer. Well, every Friday and Saturday night, this lady would come in. Her eyes were blacked out. You could see that her nose was pretty sore, and she'd come in sometimes with a fat lip, marks around her neck, and she was complaining about her husband beating her up all the time. Well, none of us really knew what to do about it. We all had our opinions of what to do about it. Well, long story short, Bill, biggest dude I'd ever seen, was there with us that night. Call him Jolly Green Giant. He'd had enough of it. He went out on a dance floor and tapped that gal's husband on the shoulder. And by the time he turned around, Bill was already standing back on his right foot. One punch knocked him right on his ass, and he had no idea what happened or where he was. Well, of course, Bill got kicked out. 10 bouncers come around, picked him up, threw him out the door, and picked Rob, the guy that got knocked down, picked him up, threw him out the door. They were both told, take it outside. You guys can kill each other out there. Take it outside. Well, it turned out that the lady, the woman that was our best friend, was all mad at us now, telling us to mind our own business and keep our stuff to ourselves. All right, that was a lesson learned. Don't get in the middle of a cat fight, because you're going to get scratched. So last night, it was going on and on and on and on and on and on, and there was an old saying back in the 60s and early 70s, can't we just get along? Even Rodney King said it after he'd been beat up by a bunch of California highway patrolmen. Can't we just get along? Well, apparently that was the wrong thing to say. It was halfway meant as a joke. All I was trying to do was break it up a little bit. And someone took it completely out of context. A person that I considered a friend, and I didn't think that something like that would ever come out of her mouth. Now, granted, I'm perfectly capable of, sometimes I open my mouth and shit just starts running out. Jimmy and I went round and round and round for a few days over something that I said. I apologize. And he apologized. Bottom line, end of the story was that, we cleared the air with each other and we're okay with each other. Nothing's going to be the same anymore. But that hurt my feelings. I'm not afraid to say that. It was said, oh, well, let's all talk about John then. Well, that knocked me right on my ass. I couldn't believe that was said. I thought people would understand that, I'm joking and trying to have a good time 95% of the time. So the lesson learned is don't get in the middle of it. And thankfully, personally, I'm glad I was out of the loop on that one. I had no idea that person even had a GoFundMe going. I didn't know anything about it. But there was a bunch of people that were arguing back and forth with each other. Just about the time that it would start to settle down, somebody had to stir it all up again. Jesus Christ, man. I graduated grade school a long time ago. But there was a lot of memories of stuff that used to go on the playground like that. I couldn't believe it. I am just... Now, anyway, I still say, can't we all just get along? I am the first one to stand up for your right to say whatever the hell you want to say. Say it, get it over with, move on. I'll defend that right. That's what part of being a member of this country is. Freedom of speech. But every now and then it gets jammed down your throat so much that it just becomes, it's bullshit. Basically, it's just bullshit. I can't stand rude people. I can't stand bullshit. I went to bed talking to myself last night. I don't, and the person that was running that, and my hat's off to you, man, to allow that to go on like that for as long as it did. On a rare occasion that I do a hangout, that's one of my rules. If you're here to bash somebody, if you're here just to start an argument and stir up the pot, you're going to get booted and banned. I don't care who you are. And I won't warn you. There's another person that I consider a friend that will at least warn you. But I won't. That's just the way it is to it. And if I lose subscribers over this and over some of that stuff, so what? You know what? I had just as many subscribers as you all did when you first opened your channel. 0. I try to be as polite as I can. Well, anyway, there's a whole lot I could sit here and just bore the hell out of you. I'm not going to do it. I've had my say. I just think that, if you want to come in and have a good time in somebody's hangout, great, perfect. Let's do it. Let's have a good time. That's what they're there for. You got something to say, say it. Get over it. And if you have to keep it stirred up, take it outside. I guess that's about it. That's probably enough. I hope y'all have a nice day.